We were pretty famous back in high school. Trust us!
Had a whole future ahead of us, but now we suck.
All that potential now is flowing in the aqueducts.
Through the sands of time, many did forget.
But now our time has come to resurrect. But a podcast?
Sad I know, but can you blame us?
We are desperate to be much more than high school famous. Whoa. Well, we're coming down off the high of episode 200, Matt.
Yep.
Now this episode just has to be like, well, it's not 200. It's 201. Back to form.
It's not as fun of a number.
It isn't as fun.
200
of a number.
was such a nice round number.
And since we
could have just ended it all right there.
We should have. Well, we should. On that note, we should have.
Top of the
on that note,
world.
We should have ended at 100 then.
No, I think after 100 we were coming in strong. We came in pretty strong, I think, after 100. There's a couple pretty solid episodes right then and there. We had a lot of gumption, a lot of
Vim and vigor.
Yeah, we were full of it.
Yeah, we were
full
of beans.
Piss and vinegar, full of beans.
And
now we're old men.
All those things that we were full of combined, I think they gave us some pretty strong tummy aches, and now we're like, we're not doing that again.
Indigestion.
We got to be very selective.
I took some Pepto-Bismol.
Pepto-Bismol?
Yeah, and that fucking... It was abysmal.
Yeah, Pepto-Abysmal.
Yeah, I cleared all of that out of me, and here I am, the sad human male you see before you.
At least you changed things up. You're wearing a gray shirt.
Yeah, because the shirt I was wearing,
which was black,
that I just wear. It was a black sweatshirt that I just wear for lounging around. But it's got what's that stuff called? Bleach. It's got like bleach stains on it and shit. Because I wear it when I clean and stuff too. It's just kind of a raggedy shirt that I just kind of lounge around in.
Yeah, don't wear a white shirt when
it wasn't presentable.
Don't wear a white shirt when you clean with bleach. Wear a black shirt.
So the thing is anytime I go, like, I'm like, oh, I'm going to do some cleaning, and I'm wearing that shirt, and then I'm doing cleaning, and then like halfway through it, I'm like, yeah, I've ruined this shirt more, because I just don't think about it when I'm like,
yeah.
Plus, it's already a wrecked shirt anyway, so I don't care if it gets more wrecked.
Sure, that's fair.
You know, it's not a going out shirt; it's a sleepy time shirt.
Oh, another one?
Yep, that's another sleepy time shirt.
I thought maybe you just had the one that had the
no, I have several. Nope, I have several sleepy time shirts. The bear one, you know, is still packed in a tote in my closet. Yeah, I haven't unpacked my totes of clothes. I've just been like, here's a few outfits. I don't really do much during the week to go out, so I only really wear my normal human clothes on the weekends.
Your normal human clothes?
Yeah.
This is good to know that we always have like difficulty scheduling when to do this. You just told me you don't have anything going on ever. And so why is it always so hard?
I don't go out during the week.
Oh.
It doesn't mean I don't have things going on.
Oh.
I don't typically go out during the week.
Gotcha.
So during the weekends is the only time I have to put on my normal human clothes.
Okay. So, so far, based on what you said, what you would now then describe as maybe abnormal human clothes or abnormal non-human clothes is a slightly bleach-stained black shirt and who knows what else, but
yeah,
that seems to me like it's...
Pajama pants.
Okay. These are abnormal non-human clothes?
These are my non-leaving the house human clothes.
So you're leaving the house, human clothes are called normal.
Yeah.
Okay. Whatever helps you sleepy time at night.
That's when I do it.
Sometimes I take little mini sleepy times during the day. Sometimes by accident. Naps. You know, you're just like...
Well, yeah, you're definitely the kind of guy who like makes plans with somebody for an evening game session and then falls asleep on the couch.
Yeah.
You know, or, you know, back in the day used to be like, hey, let's watch this movie, and then falls asleep on the couch. You have a weird sleep relationship with couches.
I
as
sleep
soon as
on
you
a lot
like
of
lay
couches.
down on them. Yeah.
And
Like we'd be hanging out with a group of people and you'll lay down on a couch and fall asleep.
Yeah. It's weird because
I think the problem isn't necessarily that like you're sleepy. It's just once you lay down on a couch, it's just for some reason your body just like you just pass out. You black out on couches.
It's not exclusive to couches. I'm sure if I was like, hey guys, let's come over to my place and hang out in my bed and we'll do some activities, I'll probably fall asleep there too. You don't think so?
I don't buy it.
So you're not going to trick me into your bed.
We all know what happens on that bed.
You know, ideally.
Yeah,
but
a lot of little pillow fluffing.
Yeah, you know,
pillow arranging.
Make them so they're not as
make sure they're centered.
Sad and smushed down and flattened.
Yeah,
you gotta put some life back into those pillows, you know.
Yeah, I know you do a lot of fluffing in that bed.
Well, I like to keep it.
I like a big old fluffer.
I like to keep it fluffy. No, the funny thing about laying on the couch is it'll still seem like I'm like to me it's a weird mentality. It's like I'm not going to bed. I'm just kind of laying here watching something. I'm not going to bed. Mm-hmm. So even if I fall asleep and I spend the entire night there, it's like I'm in my head. I'm still like, yeah, I never like went to bed. It's weird.
Yeah, it is. You know,
and once you're asleep on the couch,
weird might not be the word.
What would it be then? Psychotic?
Dumb.
Okay.
Just dumb.
But the thought of getting up to then go upstairs to lay down in bed seems exhausting. And I know I would sleep better if I went upstairs and went to my bed.
Like, I'm too tired to go to bed.
Kinda. It's like I'm already laying here. I'm already got the blanket on me. I'm already got my head on a pillow. I don't want to disturb this. It's great. Even though I know it would be better and more comfortable if I went up to the bed in my, you know, so.
Oh yeah. If I pass out on the couch, I will wake up
on the couch
sore.
Yeah.
Like I don't sleep. I don't sleep right on it, and it's, you know, it's the same with like any other bed but my bed. Like I just wake up sore from even other beds.
How often are you in other beds?
Not super often, but
a little peek in the Matt's personal.
It happens.
Ow! I punched my desk.
I shouldn't do that.
I punched my desk. My desk.
No, not super often, but like if I, you know, go home and
you are home
to Minnesota. If I go home to Minnesota,
and
sleep in a bed that's other than mine.
Gotcha. You don't have like, you know, is your room isn't just how you left it?
Oh God, no!
I thought maybe
you know my parents' house. Of course not.
I don't. Well, I haven't checked out. Well, the one time I think I was.
My parents didn't like we took our beds with us when we moved out for the most part.
What if they maybe they reset up your race car bed?
No, that thing is gone.
Maybe your dad, you know, to honor you, or is it?
I don't know if it is gone. It might still be up there.
Yeah,
I can't remember if it got chopped up or not.
I think maybe to honor you, your dad could build a new one.
He would never.
Why not? He's in his second. I guess I should say second. He's in another one of his like wood phases.
He's in his second trimester.
He is.
He's always been
starting to show.
It's his original wood phase that he's been in his entire life.
I don't know his life, dude.
He's just retired now, so now it's a full-time thing.
No, I know, but
I
remember he had all of those ones that were in the house, and you said, yeah, he used to do these and put them into competitions. That to me says he doesn't do this so much anymore.
No, it just means he doesn't put them into like shows anymore.
Why not? Why did he stop doing that?
Because it got way too complicated.
It got way too competitive, and people and underhanded, and dirty.
Well,
people were pulling punches. People were sabotaging his work.
So when he originally started doing it, they didn't really have a place to put what he did, because he would bring them to the state fair.
Okay.
They didn't really have a place specifically because the art form, people just didn't really know where to put it.
On the wall?
So shut up. Like what category to put it in?
Woodworking or art? I don't know. It's a state fair. They can figure it out.
They didn't really have a specific category that it really like fit directly into.
I don't know that the state fair
Since then, I don't know there is like a specific category for that.
Okay.
Like, enough people do it now that they.
But I don't know that the state fair is opposed to like inventing weird new things. I mean, look at all the
I don't know what
foods they serve.
So,
like, we don't know what box. We don't know what box this fits in. We can't have something that's not fits inside of a box.
Yeah, it needs to fit on a stick.
Yeah, it needs to be able to shove a stick up its rear keister.
But yeah, I don't know. He hasn't entered anything in the state fair for years and years, probably decades at this point.
It's because there was he and the state fair had a falling out. Tell that story.
Yeah,
why don't you tell that story to the listeners?
I don't. Even if there was a story, I probably wouldn't really know it.
We should have him on.
I honestly don't know. Don't know what my dad would never.
Would your dad do the podcast?
No.
Your mom would.
Probably.
Yeah, she would. And would she know the story of the contentious relationship between your father and the state fair?
There's no contentious relationship.
Bridges were burned.
You know more than I do, apparently.
It was a horrible.
That was the problem. My dad burned down a bridge at the state fair.
There are no bridges.
And they said, you can't come back.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Anyway, he burned them all. They shut down the bridge wing of the fair.
Yeah, a specific bridge wing.
Yeah, it's a big, hangar full of bridges. I mean, bridges are big. You got to have a big space to put them all. They're not going to have them sprawling
bridges
all over the place.
Bridges don't have to be big.
Well,
anything that goes over a gap is a bridge.
A worthwhile bridge is big. That's my stance I've always kept.
So you would say that for like, if there was a little gap in the ground and there was a stick across it that ants were using to get across that gap, you don't think that's a worthwhile bridge?
The stick is big in relative to the size of the ants. So yeah, for them, yeah.
But it's not big in relative to the size of us.
Yeah, but I don't.
So, but it's still a bridge.
But
the state fair isn't for ants, Sean. The state fair is for the people of the state.
I'm the one who's saying bridges need to be big. You're the ones arguing the opposite. So now you're saying that the state fair shouldn't allow bridges for ants?
No,
because the state fair is for people.
That's the absolute opposite of what I'm saying right now.
Please tell me how then.
I was literally saying, so you don't think a stick can be justifiably considered a bridge? And you said it's big to the ant. I'm like, yeah, but the stick isn't big to us, but it's still a bridge. So therefore, it's worthy of being in that hangar.
I think I got lost because you decided to throw out there that the state fair isn't for ants, it's for people. I'm like, well, are you trying to exclude what the ants consider a bridge?
No,
or not?
But no, I'm not. It can still be a bridge because we can look at it and say that was a bridge for those ants. So therefore, it constitutes as a bridge, and therefore can be in this showing of bridges in this hangar at the state fair, which doesn't exist.
But why would they be showing? It's a stick. That's nothing to show.
It's a bridge. It's bridging a gap. It's still like you could put an ant farm in the fucking thing saying, "Hey, here's this bridge inside this ant farm." It's a stick.
Yeah, but okay, so
and these ants are using it.
But in reality, a bridge inside of an ant farm would be something that's blocking an entrance to their tunnel. What else would the stick be doing there?
If it's a narrow ant farm,
they're all narrow.
You can have a thicker one,
but they're all narrow. They're all narrow. I've seen every ant farm.
Yeah.
Even alien ones.
You haven't seen them.
I know. I saw them on TV back in the day.
I suppose that counts.
It does. Yeah. Just like you consider a stick a bridge, I consider seeing a band on TV as seeing a band with my eyes.
Okay. How about a small tree that has fallen down that people use sometimes? Like there can be a tree that has fallen across things that people will walk across.
Okay,
that's not super big and significant.
But what are you doing? Why is it at the state fair now? It's no longer, if you remove it from where it fell, it can no longer be used as a bridge there. Now you're just laying a tree on the ground, and it's something people want to come and see. Anyone could just cut a tree down in their yard and go, "Wow,
I find it interesting that you're sitting here pulling apart all the things I'm saying, even though you created this whole idea of them having a display of bridges inside of a hangar.
But you're taking it and going, well, they could also just lay some sticks and trees on the ground, and those also qualify as bridges because at some point where they happen to fall, they may have been used as a bridge, but taken out of that environment, it's just a tree and a stick. If you take a built
taking a bridge, if you take a built bridge out of its environment, it's not fucking a bridge. It's still a bridge. Technically still a bridge. Okay, then that fucking fallen tree can still be a bridge. But it can still be called a bridge.
But anyone that used as a bridge, anyone that looks at a built bridge taken out of its gap is going to go, that's a bridge. You take a tree that's been used as a bridge by some people because of where it happened to fall, take it out of that environment and put it in a large hangar on the ground, and people are going to go, oh, that's a tree. What's that doing here? I thought this was the bridge hangar.
They'll put a picture up with it in when it was in its place right above the tree and saying, this was once a bridge. There you go. This tree was
used by
Napoleon walked on it.
Used by humans and ants alike.
Yeah.
Okay, so then any long object that is rigid could be considered a bridge and be featured in this exhibit. Ladies. Let's bridge our gap.
A dental bridge. There could be a little display of that as well.
So we're not even there.
That's technically a bridge.
This isn't even exclusive. So the part of the song where there's a musical change,
yeah,
we can show that too. That counts.
Why not?
So nothing. We're not even limiting this to bridges that are used to walk across from one end of a gap to another, which is your original argument for using the tree and the stick.
I'm just saying those are viable displays in there.
What about a shortened version of a book?
Sure. What about the book Bridges of Madison County? That could be in there.
What about Jeff Bridges? Can he stand in there?
He could be in there.
In this episode, your two hosts
bring in his father Bo.
Bridges. Huh?
I said bring in his father Bo too. Or is that his brother Bo?
His relative Bo.
I'm trying to remember who Bo was.
It doesn't matter. Their last name is Bridges, so why not? I think it'd be...
Bring in the show Nash Bridges.
It would make more sense if there was
the whole show.
At least two of them with the last name Bridges, because it's plural. It'd be weird to be like, oh, there's Jeff Bridges, but it's weird because it's plural for bridge, but there's only one of him.
Yeah.
So let's get at least one.
It's not, but
what do you mean?
It's not weird.
Oh, it's not?
No.
Oh, okay. Which part?
It's not weird that his last name is plural.
I didn't say that is weird.
You said it'd be weird if there was one of them because his last name is plural, and I just said it wouldn't be weird.
Okay. You know what? Everyone has their own opinion, though. Just because you don't think it would be weird. I think it'd be weird for Jeff Bridges to be standing in a hangar full of gap closing bridges and just standing there to be looked at the Minnesota State Fair. Well, they're bridging gaps. Good. Yeah. Now, would Jeff Bridges have some sort of mouth gear to help with his dental bridge or whatever you said?
If he needs one.
He might.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Well.
No camera is safe.
Yep. This seems like an issue with...
I'm guessing it's an issue with the updated OSs for me. Then.
Possibly. It's either... that or for some reason it just doesn't like to communicate wirelessly. So
but I wonder, it always did.
Might have to purchase a webcam that you can plug directly in.
Again, I don't have anywhere to plug it in. I could
if I had some more space, buddy.
If I had a place to plug it in, I would just plug this phone into it and not spend money on a webcam when I have a much higher quality camera right here.
You'll have to probably buy a little...
Don't tell me I need to get a dongle, because I have... Each of my 2 ports on my computer has a dongle plugged into them. With
how many ports on the dongles?
Well, one of them it's just 3 very specific ports. And then the other one is 4? I think 4 or 3. One of them might be to transfer power, but I think 3 usable ports.
Need buy one with like 8.
I'll just eventually need to get I'll need to upgrade my computer with the ones that have where they decided, hey, you know what, doing away with all of those ports was a bad idea. Let's put them back into the computer. You know, this is the longest one we've done. This is the longest blur I've had.
I hope I was about to say listeners. I hope the people viewing are enjoying a very blurry Sean right now. Well, you might be getting a blurry Sean for the rest of this episode.
Could be.
And we're only 20 minutes in.
It's funny because, you know, it makes me look younger. All my crease, my crow's feet and all my other creases and cracks are smoothed out.
You just look like a thumb. You just look like a pink blob right now.
Yeah, but how old would you guess my thumb is in this shot?
Honestly,
15.
Pretty old. I think you look older.
How?
In this blurriness.
How do I look older?
I don't know, because it's weird because it's making your hair look like a little, like, almost like a little Hitler hairdo there.
I think that's partially the fault of my headphones.
Oh, it just did so. Oh, it's trying to do something.
Is it? To me, it doesn't look like it is.
Oh, my end, it was doing some fuzzy stuff.
Like it was trying to refocus or something?
Yeah. So, you know, this is the part of the episode. You know, we just got done with the bridge portion of this episode. This is the talking about Sean's blurry camera part of the episode. And for those who listened to episode 200 and realized, man, they are having a ton of technical issues. There he is. We figured that out.
Yeah, we did.
And the funny thing is your camera was not an issue that entire episode.
I know, which thankfully, but I'm wondering, well, we won't know if I figured it out. We have a pretty good idea of what the problem was.
Yeah.
But we'll see once this file comes through. But I'm hoping that we figured it out. It makes sense.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because of that.
Based on the
secondary issue, the not the dropping issue, but the secondary issue that was happening on the editing end of things.
Yeah, the dropping issues. Who knows? Maybe it's also the same thing.
I think that was. Yeah, I'm hoping that was caused by the same issue.
Well, because you and you, the two that didn't have any issues, are you and Eric.
Yep.
I mean, what? I mean, how obvious?
The two non-Mac users were the only ones that didn't have issues the whole night. Well,
yeah. I guess.
So yeah, we ended up recording. Yeah. So yeah, the episode's like a little over 2 hours long, roughly.
Yeah, I think
we were on that call for about 3 hours.
Yeah,
with all the issues we were having.
Yeah,
dropping in and out and whatnot.
The YouTube version, I think, came out to be like 2 hours and 4 minutes, something like that.
Okay, that's not much longer than the.
You know, what's a bummer.
The other one.
I'm not sure what happened, but. You know, we made the comment about Mark taking a really long drink, and then that video it wasn't there.
Oh, the whole it
just
cut before that,
something like that. Yeah. So we talked.
So
I left it in when we
recording cut before it.
I took him off the
damn, because that was funny.
I know, but
Oh well.
The end.
Well, yeah.
So this is 201. Students, welcome into High School Famous. Turn your textbooks to page 201 and read it. Read the words on it.
And read it at your own pace.
Oh, yeah. You have...
Did you ever have to do that shit in I think it was only really in elementary school where you'd have to, you would be reading a book or something. The whole class would be reading a book or a story of some sort. And everybody had to take turns reading.
Yes.
And either the teacher would call the next person or the person reading would stop and call the next person.
Yeah, you were assigned to just read a section of it, and then maybe it was a page or a paragraph. I forget what it was. And then you would have to pass on. That would have to prove people would get caught real fast if they weren't following along. Because if they got called on and they're like, oh, and they don't know what place they're in the book, it would quickly reveal who's just sort of not paying attention.
I always hated that because, I mean, proof is in the pudding. Here on the podcast, how awful I am at reading shit.
Yeah.
Imagine how bad I was back then.
I don't remember if I was particularly good.
Just as bad.
I don't remember if I was particularly good or bad about reading aloud back then. I don't remember having any glaring issues, but I wouldn't say I was great at it.
Yeah, I'm like, see, I have a twofold problem.
Okay.
With reading, right? Reading out loud, obviously, I get ahead of myself and I stumble.
I told you the fix for that.
What?
Have a kid.
Stop. To read out loud to them?
Yeah, you read them stories at night.
I could just read out loud to myself.
But how crazy would that seem?
I would just be like, I'll just get scripts and I'll practice lines out loud.
Sure. Okay.
Then it won't seem weird.
Where are you going to get all these scripts? You have an agent?
Internet.
You have a manager that just going, hey,
grab a script from any movie.
I got a great script for you to read.
Doesn't have to be a new script.
They're considering you for
an old script.
The background extra character. There's only one, and they want you to be it.
The character called Some Guy.
Yeah, Some Guy number one.
Well, okay, so that's part one of my problem with reading.
Reading out loud, yes.
This reading out loud. I stumble a lot. My second part of my twofold reading problem parts.
Oh, this is the last fold.
This is the second fold. This is the
yeah.
Two folds. I'm done.
The final fold.
That's the same. That's how that's with
everything.
With bed sheets. Everything.
You're just a two-fold guy. Huh. You must have large closet shelves or something that these can be placed on.
It's fold, crumble, throw.
Okay. So why do the folds in the first place?
Right.
I'm not an animal. So Matt, tell us you were talking about your folds.
Yes. So don't do that.
Tell us more about your folds, Matt.
All right. No, the second part is reading to myself, and I've probably said this before on here. I have a hard time focusing, and it's probably undiagnosed ADHD. I'm sure it is. But
it's not
diagnosed. If I'm reading something, well, yeah, you'd know. If it was,
I would shove that in your face so hard.
Yeah, I'd be like, "Told you so."
Jealous.
When I'm reading to myself, I start to like imagine. I'm picturing everything in my head as I'm reading, which I'm sure most people do.
Yeah, that's what reading is supposed to do. You're supposed to envision.
But for me, I'm reading it. I'm so focused on what I'm thinking about and how I'm picturing everything that I will just all of a sudden get to a point in the book and I'm just like, I don't know, like I get lost and I'm like, all right, so I have to go back and reread and I'm like, I don't remember any of this shit.
So does this happen? Are you picturing the world that the book is describing and that you're in it and all of a sudden you freak out that you're lost in the world? You're like, you don't know how to get back home?
No, that's never happened.
Well, I wish it would.
I'm just picturing what's being, what I'm reading. I'm imagining the words that are being read and I just get past that point. Like I keep fixating on what I just read to the point where I have now read another like 2 paragraphs that I have not retained anything of. So I have to like go back and reread. So that's why I am like strictly audiobooks, even though I do also do that a bit with audiobooks, but not nearly as much.
This is maybe not exactly related because I'm great at reading aloud and to myself. So I don't have any issues to relate to you with. But in the topic of like sort of getting lost in the world, I have a voice memo on my phone, which luckily I can view transcripts of everything, but I called it Strange Dream because I woke up. I have this alarm that goes off when my son's blood sugar is a certain range or with outside of the range. Mm-hmm. And at really like the height, I like the meatiest part of this dream.
Well, that's when all dreams get ruined. Every dream gets ruined that way.
But it's not.
But it's probably just you think that was the meatiest part of the dream because that's the most significant point that got interrupted.
Well, and there's nothing that happened after that. So how do you know if something greater wasn't about to happen?
Or it might have just that might have been the ending.
So I made a point to.
I mean, it was the ending.
I almost never wake up and go, "Oh wow, I had this crazy dream," and I remember it. I usually just don't have any.
I never remember my dreams.
So this time I did. I'm like, I'm going to make sure I wake up, or when I woke up, I'm like, I'm going to just describe this so that I can relay it later.
Dream journal.
Yeah, it's
dream journaling.
Yeah. So if we want, since this is a voice memo, like I'll
Oh.
read the transcript right now, but if we want, we can maybe put the audio in of me just telling it. I don't know.
Yeah, just read it. I mean, it's going to sound the same.
Well, I was, just woken up sort of a hazy voice when I recorded it. And the transcript might be imperfect. It's just going off of the audio of my recording and going, this is what he said. So there might be some mistakes.
I am assuming you'll be able to fix them as you're reading it.
Maybe not, because this was on October 19th. So.
Oh my God, that was ages ago.
I know. Well, you remember verbatim what you said when you just woke up describing a dream almost a month ago. You remember every word you said and be able to point out mistakes. Do it.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, I do that all the time.
I have a stupid memory. I have a very stupid memory for things that are insignificant.
All right, so here's my dream I awoke from on October 19th, 2024.
I'm excited.
Yeah. Just got
Sean will edit this so it's an animated version of what he's telling.
I will not
for the video edit.
I will not do that.
So be sure to watch the video.
If I do, it'll just be me, like the character of me that we use in our title cards, and just standing in a room. That'll be it. Or I'll just do me sleeping in a bed because it's a dream. Anyway.
Oh yeah.
Just got really awoken from a.
Just coming in guns blazing.
Yeah, I come in hot on my dreams. Just got really awoken from a dream because there's an alarm, but I had a really strange one. I dreamt I was at some kind of party for Betty White. In this dream, she must be just been a relative of mine. And this guy says to me that I need to something about being able to use my phone because I have a daughter to take care of. And so I need to make sure I know how to just properly use my phone in case you just walk, and it gets taken and she gets kidnapped or something. And I need to be able to use it to call the police. How am I to do it? I know how to use the phone, This is again, the audio recording might be more coherent, but I don't know.
And I love that it's not.
So
and
far,
I hope that it's not.
So far, I'm at some kind of gathering for Betty White, which may or may not have
some
been
guy's
a
heckling
relative
you
of
about
mine.
making sure you know how to use your phone.
He's going like, dude, you have a daughter. If something happens to her, you need to be able to use your phone in case you need to contact the authorities or maybe she's trying to reach you. Like, dude, make sure you know how to use your phone. He was being very concerned about me knowing how to use my phone. So, and then it turned into a big, he got heated and took offense to because I was like, dude, need me a lot. See, this is not coherent because it's, dude, need me a lot. I know he's the phone. Okay. I'm basically saying I'm dismissing his concern because I'm like, I know how to use a phone. Who doesn't know how to use a phone? That's what I'm saying to this guy at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, no, seriously. And then he got really angry and he turned and ended up getting all heated. The guy ended up pulling out a gun and then it was all diffused. Like they got the gun away from him and took the clip out.
Nice.
He's no longer the guns. I said, he's no longer the gun's not a worry anymore. But then I'd be in the dream. In the dream, I realized that I was in it.
Oh.
Like I was in it, like I didn't, myself, didn't realize I was in a dream, but the guy I was in the dream realized he was in a dream. So
you didn't know you were dreaming, but the other guy was like, oh, I'm dreaming.
No. Like the real me sleeping in my bed at that time didn't realize I was in a dream, but the me in the dream realized he was in a dream, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Like me laying in bed, it wasn't like I'm dreaming right now, but the me that's in the dream is like I'm in a dream.
So it wasn't really a lucid dream. It was just a pseudo lucid
sort
dream.
Of
like
maybe
the dream, the version of you inside the dream knew it was a dream, but you dreaming didn't.
I guess weren't
aware of what was going on.
To my knowledge, the real me sleeping was not aware that this was happening. Didn't also realize I was in a dream. Maybe. But the guy the guy was in the dream. Wait, okay. Here's what I'm saying. But the guy I was in the dream realized he was in a dream and that he was in the past in the dream. Like he was in 1999 in the dream and it was 2023 now instead of 2024. For some reason in my dream now was 2023.
Okay.
I said, and so he's like, the me in the dream is like, oh, I get it. This guy, cell phones are new. So he's trying to help me out. And I'm a guy who's in this dream, but that realizes he's in a dream, but he's had all these cell phones for decades. So then he's this whole thing about having this really heartfelt talk with the guy to calm him down, to explain this whole thing to him and how I know this sounds crazy, but I'm from the year 2023 and this is what, 99? So cell phones are new for you. So I get why you would say that to me. Like I'm trying to calm this guy down that he
calm down. I'm from the future.
I know it doesn't, but I remember in the dream, this was very heartfelt and I'm very dude, I get it now. I have had cell phones for a long time, but they're new for you. So I get why you were concerned for me knowing how to use my phone, because not everyone knew how to use the cell phones back then. But guess what? I do, so you don't have to worry. Yeah. I was trying to
texting was a nightmare.
I was trying to call 99. Oof. You had to have a certain number of minutes text. Basically, you had a cap on your text messages, right? How many you could send or receive?
A message.
Unless it was nights and weekends or whatever. Or was that just minutes that were unlimited?
In 99?
I don't know.
In 99, I don't know, because I didn't have a cell phone in 99.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't either. It was probably 03, I think, or something when I got my first cell phone.
I think I got my first cell phone in 2021, probly.
What are you 2021, you idiot? Yeah, right.
Or 2001 is what I meant by that.
3 years ago, you got your first cell phone.
Yeah.
No,
I remember analog.
I remember working at Archway and hearing my new phone ring from my coat pocket. Remember, you didn't always have your phone just on you all the time. My cell phone was just in my coat pocket, I think. And I remember hearing it ring from far away. Oh, my new phone's ringing. It was kind of ooh, someone's calling me. But
right
now our phones are glued to our faces.
That's a worse place to have them.
I know. The apparatus that holds it is glued to my face. The phone is within a reasonable distance, so I can easily look at it and not strain my eyes and look stupid. So once I figured that out, this whole mission was about just calming you down and relaying to you, and that I understand where you're coming from. And at some point, I said the guy's name was Peter because I guess he's now Peter Parker.
Dreams are fucking
Then
weird,
I said,
dude.
I don't know what's going on. This is a dream. It's 6:45 in the morning or something. I don't even record or jot down dreams, but this one was so strange, and I don't know why I felt the need to, capture this one. But anyway, very strange. But then the pixel alarm went off. And right in the middle of the heartfelt moment, or there was there was music playing, and there was heartfelt music, string music playing in the dream and everything. It was like a movie, but right in the middle of that, alarm went off. So I hope we worked it out.
I always find dreams are weird, but what's weirder to me are nightmares.
Yeah,
because it's your own brain scaring you.
Yeah. Do you think
it's your own brain fucks with you?
Do you think it's for your own good? It's teaching you to stay away from things that are dangerous by making you scared of them? Unless the stuff in your dreams that you're scared of is the nightmares are not of scary things. It's Hello Kitty coming after me. She wants sex.
Dude, Hello Kitty's like a child.
It's a cat. Who cares how old it is?
But
you shouldn't be engaging in anything.
Whoa.
I'm trying to say is, even if the cat were, quote, old enough, that's not something you want to pursue. If you're a human.
I mean, tell that to a furry.
I don't communicate with furries. Not to my knowledge.
You don't know that. Yeah, I say you can't say that for certain.
I could work with furries and just not be aware of it.
Yeah.
Although my place of work it doesn't have the strictest dress code, so I imagine if they were a furry, they could probably get away with wearing whatever they want.
I highly doubt that. There's no way.
There could be like
somebody's coming in a full fucking
like a mascot costume. What are they? Is it mascot costumes, or is that a separate thing?
I mean, it's kind of a separate thing, but I mean, they make very high quality animal outfits.
So there's money in this. There's a business in this.
Oh God, yeah. Those things are like $4,000.
Do you are furries? Here's a question about furries. We should find a furry to come on the show and talk to us about this kind of stuff. That's one thing we should start doing. Like a topic we're really interested on, just put feelers out and see if anyone is like someone who's well versed in that, and have them on, and we can learn things. I understand the basic idea of furries, but is it just limited to animals that have fur? Like, are there people that want to dress up like birds? They call themselves furries, or do they have to call themselves like featheries?
Yeah, I think it's a general encompassing term.
Like, what if I want to dress up as a lizard? That's not even close to fur.
I'm sure that would still fall into the realm of that. I think furries just become a general term for people who like to dress up as animals and, be that character. And I think not always, but a lot of times associated with having sex with each other in those outfits.
Is there a more subtle, maybe business casual version of a furry costume that someone could wear to work?
A fawn?
Or is the whole idea to be completely unrecognizable? Like you can't see their face or anything?
It's not always that.
I'm asking
Sometimes
you like you're the expert on furries that I'm trying to get on the show.
I somehow probably know slightly more about it than you do. But I think the most business casual, like furry type outfit would be like a fawn.
What's a fawn?
Not a deer, but it's like a half goat, half man.
Okay.
So you'd have like goat legs, but then so that's the business casual part is the man half. So you could still be on webcam and not show anybody that you're wearing fawn legs.
So it would just be like brown furry legs you would wear?
Yeah.
Like pants that are just okay.
Yeah.
So
there was somebody who did that, who had a fawn character out at the Renaissance Festival.
Okay.
But she had the really cool, like, she had like a built like thing that she would stand, like her boots, she would kind of be standing almost in a tippy toe.
Okay.
Because the boots she had, because you know how their legs will bend,
the other way.
They're like rear animal legs.
Yeah.
So that's how. So it'd be like goat rear legs.
Oh, so okay.
So the way the legs basically it was kind of like sort of stilts, but the way it was made it look like her legs were that way, which was kind of cool.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if it was.
I didn't ask her if she was a furry.
Well, yeah, you don't want to just come out and ask that. That's a personal question.
Yeah. Unless you go to a furry convention and then you can ask
pretty
that
well
to
assume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can assume, but you never want to assume.
I wonder.
Because that makes you an ass.
You or me.
Mm-hmm.
You should just move back here, because then we could go to like crazy conventions and interview people.
I was about to say, tread carefully with where you're about to go with
because
this.
We can be furries
you should
together.
Come back here. We can just dress up in furry costumes and fuck.
No, we could go to like conventions of various things and interview people.
We can still do that.
But it would be strange if like
It'd be easier if I lived there, but
yeah. it'd be weird to do it separately.
Well, yeah.
That's
like if I went to a convention and just had you on webcam and I was just walking around with my laptop,
or like
we'd like to interview you.
Yeah. And my face is blurry because my camera keeps messing up. So no, I think that'd be fun.
This is my co-host. He's in witness protection.
We could separately go to things and like just interview people, and then we could each bring our own audio of that and be like, yeah, check out this guy I talked to, and then play the clip of it and stuff like that.
I will be upfront and say that you will be better at that than I will, because I hate talking to people I don't know.
What if you were a little more inconspicuous?
A different person. Oh.
Like you were in
like
some
if
sort
I was
of a
dressed
costume.
up in some sort of a furry costume.
Yeah. And
I would just walk around interviewing people. My question is like, would you fuck this?
Yeah. Is
this what you like?
Why do you weirdos dress this way?
Yeah. I'm not one of you.
Yours would have a big gaping hole in the rear.
My costume is literally, I just went to a person who does face painting and they just painted like a tiger on my face.
Yes.
Not a tiger on my face, but my face to look like a tiger.
Right. You have a full body tiger just on your cheek.
Yeah, just on my cheek.
Like, check me out. I'm one of you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then there's
would you fuck this face?
Would you fuck this cheek?
Would you let me face fuck you?
Yeah, like you like push your tongue.
It's the
like,
back.
You push your tongue against the inside of your cheek to sort of make it push out a little bit.
That's me completely misunderstanding what the term face fuck means.
And what furries are.
It means that I fuck you with my face, right?
Yeah. It goes in and out of you, right? My face?
Yeah. My whole face?
Yeah.
Just the face, not the head, the face.
No. So yeah, that was my dream.
No, that's not what it is.
No, when you said
it was
fawn,
a fantastic dream.
When you said a fawn, I wasn't sure if it was a
baby deer.
No, well, that I did actually picture a baby deer when you first said it. I'm like, well, how is that work appropriate? But no, I didn't know if it was a full four-legged animal version and then just the torso of the body of the human, just like a centaur or whatever,
like a centaur,
or if it was just like what's another version where it's just the two legs? Because that's a goat, right? What is it? A deer?
A goat.
A fawn is a goat.
Fawn is a bottom half of
his goat.
Like the back half of a goat
with the top half of a person.
With the top half of a person.
Gotcha. Okay, well, we don't need to figure out what that might be. What I'm thinking of. The only thing that is a two-legged
think
person.
About the example would be Mr. Tomness from the Lion,
the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Yeah, Mr. Tomness is a fawn.
Is a mermaid considered a furry? That's a question.
Ooh.
If we're considering like reptiles and other non-furry creatures, it's only half of the creature, but does that count?
I think it would be different based. Well, I was going to say based on it being a mythical creature, but I'm sure there's people who are furries that dress up as like unicorns.
Well, you just mentioned a fawn, though.
I was making the joke of a fawn.
Is that being a work appropriate?
A business casual version of a furry.
Okay,
would be a fawn, which yes is a fey creature. It's not real,
right?
So,
mythical,
as far as we know.
I mean, hey, Bigfoot. People could dress up as Bigfoot and be a furry. There's people that dress up as Chewbacca and Bigfoot, I bet, at these things.
Maybe.
And Cousin It? Guaranteed. If I was going to go...
For some reason, Cousin It seems like I doubt it.
Why? Because he's a mythical creature?
No, we also don't know.
If I was going to go to a furry convention,
Cousin
I would
It
wear a
would
Cousin
technically
It
be... I feel like Cousin It is at least alluded to be like a humanoid character versus an animal.
Look, like this is going to be an area where there's strict rules about what counts and what doesn't.
There might be. There's got to be.
Someone, I guarantee. Okay, so what about Chewbacca? He's not humanoid. Or he's maybe
fully humanoid.
He's not maybe thought of as possibly a human that just happens to be covered in hair.
No, but he's definitely humanoid. Like, there's a difference between...
No,
like,
I corrected myself after I said that. He's definitely humanoid, just like Bigfoot is, humanoid. But I guarantee you there are people that have gone to these conventions dressed up as
it's possible
Chewbacca or Bigfoot.
I feel like people who take it super seriously though would be kind of like they'd probably like scoff at it. I would assume
maybe
they'd be like, "That's not in the true spirit of what we are."
But I mean, this is also probably a group of individuals that are all about inclusion and being able to be yourself freely.
Oh, for sure.
100%. So then why are they going to be like, well, that's not Bigfoot? Don't do this again.
Oh. Sean's being censored. He's getting on. Like, oh, they do not like this conversation we're having. From everything that I've ever heard about people that are into the furry lifestyle is that they are actually like, hey, you're back.
Yeah.
I took the heat off you.
I'm cold now.
They are very like respectable, like inclusive people.
Sure.
Like,
so they're not going to shy away and turn away someone that is dressed up as Chewbacca or because I mean that's because
I think we read a story on here about some girl that was getting harassed at a convention and a bunch of furries like came to her aid and scared the dude off. I believe we read a story about that on here.
I think so.
So then she ended up like just hanging out with the furries for a while.
Well, it shows that they look out for their own and others. They're just maybe all just
they have a pack mentality.
But good one. No, but just like any large collection of people or category of people, I guess there's going to be good ones and bad ones. So
for sure.
Luckily, this girl just happened to. She was noticed by a good group of furries that came to her aid.
Not the bad boys.
Not the boys from the wrong side of the tracks. The bear tracks.
The junkyard furries.
Yeah. Yeah. Why are they at the junkyard and not just in the wilderness? Why are they hanging out at the junkyard?
It's like a junkyard dog. Their junkyard dogs are typically like aggressive. When you talk about a junkyard dog, they're an aggressive dog. Because they're trained to keep people out of the junkyard. Don't want people stealing my junk.
All right. Do people dress up as Cujo and just like start tearing into people?
I would doubt it.
Turn it into
Keep
a
in mind,
bloodbath.
these are conventions where there's going to be security and rules against violence.
Security.
What if they had like a amateur boxing ring at a furry convention?
Then I would dress up as a boxer.
So you can bet on dog fights.
Yeah, I would be a boxer.
You could legally bet on dog fights.
But they're not real dogs, though.
I know, but it's the funny part of it, Sean. You can legally bet on a dog fight.
Well, then you could also
people dressed as dogs fighting.
You could bet on a cockfight then.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
if there's a couple of people dressed as cocks,
big old cocks,
real cockfight,
cock of the whack. That guy, he's that thing.
I think it'd be cool to have a super elaborate octopus costume.
I mean, if lizards and other things are all on the table, then yeah.
I don't. This is all super hypothetical because we have no idea what the rules actually are. But
hey, anyone out there that if you're a listener and you're a furry, or maybe you know a furry that would be interested in coming on to our show to enlighten us on the world.
They're more than welcome to come in costume or not.
Oh, that'd be I would
actually prefer them to come in costume.
I would prefer it as long as it didn't cause a big audio issue.
Come in costume too, if you know what
I mean. He never wants anyone to know it's him doing it. No, but my only concern would be is if it caused a lot of audio issues, like it would sound muffled or something. If we can make it work at work, where their costume didn't interfere like that, then it'd be fine.
Yeah.
Maybe I was an aspiring furry back in the day because I remember for my senior pictures, I wanted to be in a bear costume, but just be like,
I think that was more because you thought it would be a fun goof.
Yeah, well, it is, but I wanted to like be holding the head part of it and, and just be like sort of looking seriously in the distance. Right. Yeah, I couldn't secure myself a bear costume in time.
They would have not allowed it for sure.
Why not?
Like or hold on, you said for senior pictures for your... Yeah. Okay, I thought for some reason you said senior pictures, and I immediately went to graduation because you got shut down for your little shorts. Thing you did.
They wouldn't let me have. They wouldn't let me
wear
have
shorts with suspenders. Yeah.
Well, I think it's just that I had my gown tucked into something. That's what they
were tucked into your shorts. Yeah,
I bet you if I was.
They told you like, oh, your parents wouldn't like it if you did this.
Yeah, and they also said
you're like, I left the house like this.
I know. I told them that. I'm like, they saw me like this already. And they threatened that they weren't going to give me my diploma, but that I would
they can't do.
I would either way. If I didn't get handed the paper, I still would have been a graduate of the high school.
Yeah, they can't take away the fact that you graduated.
Yeah, but they just scared me, so I didn't do it. I know.
I kind of wish at the time when they're like, no, undo it, you would have just been like appeased them
and then
at that point and undid it. And then once we got out there, you did it like at your seat so that when you went to actually walk up on stage, you were dressed that way.
The whole thing was pointless anyway.
It's all
because no. Yeah. Because by the time they got to the tees, the storm had rolled in and everybody ran out of there. Yeah. There was barely anybody there, I think, when I walked up to get my diploma. Anyway. Yeah. So it wouldn't even have been.
I think I just barely got through before the storm really hit.
Yeah.
Because they started rushing through our names.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it didn't help that we had so many people to get through either.
Oh God, yeah.
But
yeah, I think the whole thing was stupid anyways, because what it really comes down to is it wasn't their fear of it embarrassing your family or anything like that. It was about them feeling embarrassed about the way you were dressed.
Yeah, probably.
It was more so them. They feared their reputation of like, oh, we can't have this person come up there and make a fool of this ceremony.
Right. We don't want to be seen as a school that would allow this type of tomfoolery.
And it's like you should allow stuff like that. Allow your students to be expressive and stuff like that. Like, who was it harming?
It's also supposed to be just...
You didn't go up there and streak.
Yeah.
You weren't going to do anything offensive. You were just dressed goofy.
This is also supposed to be a time of just celebration for these kids who are done with school. They completed this part of their lives and they're about to move on to the working world or college and, start get a hold of their futures. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird because there were so many other aspects. Like, I mean, you know how we were in high school. They should have expected nothing less of me.
Right.
And
exactly.
And I was my wackiness was largely celebrated. Of their worries. My wackiness was largely celebrated throughout my whole time going there. For them to be like, "Whoa, we better temper this." This crazy.
That was so that was such a subdued version of what you could have possibly tried to get away with, or what you did get away with in the past. Like,
yeah, I don't know.
It was nothing.
It's just ultimately
schools like that just are all about stifling creativity. It's just dumb.
As long as you're good at sports, then we'll care.
Yeah,
but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, but I mean, ultimately, it's me not doing it didn't affect my life, so it's not like it's a big regret. But I do kind of wish I would.
We're talking about it 20-something years later.
No, but this is probably less than a handful of times it's come up since then. But
right,
there is a little bit of me that just kind of like I wish I would have just stuck to my guns and just went for it.
Yeah. I mean, all of us around you were pissed off that they did that shit. It was just like, what? Why? Like, even at that time, I feel literally the same way about it now that I did then, of just like,
yeah,
why?
I know.
Like, what's the problem?
People are stuck. People are really, really serious about like traditions and formality, and this has to be proper, and this is the proper way to do this. Yeah. It's all human invention anyway. We act like this can't be changed, and this is just the way things have to be. Do you remember who it was that talked to me, that threatened me that they were going to take away my diploma and all that? I don't remember who it even was.
No, it was. I don't even think it was a teacher we even had. It was just some
stick up their ass teacher.
Yeah, because I feel like if it was a teacher we had, they would just like they would have known enough of like.
I think it would have had to have
they
been.
Probably wouldn't have cared.
I don't think it would have just been a teacher, because I don't know that I would have listened if it was just some teacher, especially when I didn't even have. I think it had to have been someone with actual authority at the school.
Maybe.
Like maybe it was the principal. I don't even remember who our principal was.
No, it definitely wasn't. No, Voight. It definitely wasn't.
Voight was the principal?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I don't recall. Hey, anyone who went to high school with us?
How did you not
remember?
think? What? Who are you?
I'm telling you, I don't remember who the principal was.
Voight was the principal. Do you remember Voight at all?
I remember him. Yeah.
Okay.
I guess I just don't remember him being the principal.
Because I don't think it was Voight, and I don't think it was Savage.
Wait, who's Savage? Which one's Savage?
Savage is the one you're probably thinking of.
When you say Voight?
Yeah.
Is he the guy with
Savage? Savage is the got milk guy.
Okay, I was thinking of Savage when you said Voight. So I don't remember who.
I had a feeling you were. Voight was like an older, gray-haired guy, glasses, heavy set.
Wore suspenders?
Maybe
he was like, I don't want this guy. Who wore it best?
Was that why you brought up suspenders? Because you're thinking that was the problem?
Yeah.
No, it was.
Damn it, he looks so good.
I don't recall him wearing suspenders.
Why do it look like such a?
No, I feel like I thought it was
these suspenders.
I thought it was a female teacher that had talked to you,
possibly
and said something.
I have no recollection of was. I have no recollection.
Even if I looked through a yearbook, I don't think I would be able to pick out the person who talked to you.
You know what else you wouldn't see if you looked through the yearbook? Me in a bear costume.
True. You know who had some pretty cool senior photos though? Or some pretty fun senior photos, at least.
Al?
Yeah,
I know. That's why I was so mad that I didn't get...
Al had some awesome senior photos.
That's why I was so mad that I wasn't able to get the bear costume, because I saw what he ended up doing.
I didn't even think about, like, coming up with a scheme like that. I was just so, like... I didn't even occur to me, like, let's make these goofy. Oh, I definitely didn't look hot by any means. No.
The other thing so on top of, to add insult to injury, my mom insisted on being there and coming with when I got my senior pictures taken. So
right.
my urge, all of a sudden my desire to do anything wacky or silly, bear costume or no, was just like, oh, I got to do like probably normal pictures because my mom's here. I was just like, the whole thing just like... It just squashed it even more.
I think the whole thing in general is such a stupid racket.
Oh, it all is.
Like, what's with it? Like,
just like
looking
weddings.
back at it, it's like senior photos.
Yeah.
Why? I get wedding photos.
I mean, no. I'm not just talking about photos. Like
weddings in general.
The whole because it's so expensive. And it's
ridiculous.
It's a gigantic business. It's a gigantic industry, and it's one that creates its own level. It has to convince everyone of its own level of importance constantly. It always has to keep reminding you that it's something you need to spend a lot of money on because this is a very important day. You know what I mean?
Well, it's the same as fucking diamonds.
Exactly.
Diamonds are worthless rocks.
Everything is worthless.
But jewelry companies, I think it was De Beers specifically, made this big campaign about, like, they probably just had this stockpile of shitty clear rocks that they're like, we need to sell these things.
Yeah.
Let's make this big campaign about how you're not a man if you don't buy your woman a diamond ring.
Yeah.
And it took off.
It cost 3 months' salary.
And now diamonds are fucking expensive as shit, even though, like, they're, in the end, worthless.
I've said that for a long time. How much energy has been expended, how many people have lost their lives, how many people have been injured, how much has been at stake, all for the sake of shiny rocks held in shiny metal. It's people need to zoom out.
Yeah.
And look at what's really, what look at the,
at least something like gold has has properties in it that make it valuable.
But why?
Like, it's a good, because gold is a good conductor.
Okay.
So it's good for like electronics and stuff like that. The fact, so that's why it can contain value.
Oh yeah. Well,
you know what I mean?
I mean, what is it used for? Because in that regard, because I know I'll see like, I remember when you still use like red, white, and yellow, or maybe component cables for your TV and stuff. It was a big deal to have it be like gold tipped or gold plated or whatever at the ends.
Yeah, because it's just a better conductor.
Okay, so I guess that's one thing that makes it valuable.
Yeah, like I have some guitar cables that are like gold tipped.
Okay. So aside from that though, like as far as its properties, what else makes it valuable?
I mean, I'm not going to dig that deep into it. I'm not exactly. I'm just basically like I don't know all of what gold is extensively used for, but I know it's a good conductor. So there, at least as a good conductor, gold has actual value. Diamond, the only thing that's really good about diamond is it's good for cutting.
Diamond.
But but that's just diamond. You don't need to have diamonds. You don't have to have like precious cut stones that are specifically like you can have super flawed diamond.
It'll still cut.
It doesn't have to all this clarity and all this shit. It's still going to be useful for diamond cutting blades and things like that. In fact, you don't want to use these precious diamonds for that because it's just a waste.
Right.
You just find all the shit diamonds you got and throw them on like that. Yeah. So
slap them on a saw blade.
The value of it being a gem in jewelry is just this fabricated bullshit that a jeweler made up to sell the diamonds because they had a surplus of them. And it worked.
Again, everyone, zoom out.
Zoom out. You don't need this bullshit in your lives.
Zoom out. View the world.
Things only have value because we give them value.
Exactly. That's why the only thing that has, aside from something like gold, it's like we've all settled on. There's no trade anymore. You have to have this. It's not even paper anymore. People almost never carry paper money anymore. It's all just the digital representation of an amount. But even if it were something that people still carried around, it's just paper that's been assigned a value, and we just all go, yeah.
Well, exactly. Look at back in the day before money was invented.
Yeah, you traded things.
You traded, you bartered, you know, like, oh, I have way too much corn, and you had way too much wheat.
Let's help each other out.
I'll give you some of my corn for some of your wheat. Yeah. Boom.
Boom.
You know, or we all lived in a society where people hunted and people gathered and we helped each other survive.
Yeah.
We didn't need to purchase things. Somebody made a bowl. You wanted that bowl. You gave them something. They gave you the bowl.
Yeah. And then they can just make themselves another bowl if they choose. Maybe they made the bowl just to try to get the thing that your neighbor had. I'm like, oh, I bet you they'll offer me that if I make this bowl. Gosh, they've been bitching about not having a bowl for so long. I'm going to make a bowl.
Yeah. I assume, because this thing I just invented that people later will call bowls, I haven't actually named it yet.
Oh, you're talking... Okay.
It's just a vessel that I have.
I didn't realize you were talking about the invention of a bowl. I thought you just meant like, oh, that person knows how to make bowls really well. I don't. I would like to have one of their bowls. I'll offer them up one of my my goats.
I was thinking very prehistoric.
Gotcha. The invention of the bowl. I'm sure it was a naturally occurring, like, those people probably looked at a lake or a pond and go, huh.
Or just found a rock that was slightly
bowl-shaped. You think that's more likely than them looking at a small body of water and going,
well, I'm saying as far
I
as
can
like
make something that does that.
I'm just saying, like, as far as maybe they didn't make the first bowl, maybe they found something that they used as a bowl.
Gotcha.
But like they used out a coconut or something. Exactly.
All right. Well, this is,
there was something else I was going to say during all this rant that we were having, and I lost it now. But
that's fine. I was prepared to read off a bunch of poems about rice.
What?
I found a site called poemhunter.com, and I typed the word rice to search, and so I just...
Why per se?
That's the first word that came... I mean, what's a boring thing? I thought, what's a really boring thing to write a poem about? I'm like, I just thought of rice for some reason. So I typed the word rice in the search box, and it came up with, there's like 207 results or something.
Jesus Christ.
About poems about rice that people have written and also submitted to poemhunter.com.
That's about 200 too many.
Yeah, well, you think that 7 is the perfect amount then?
7. Yeah, 7.
7 poems about rice is good. Let's not get
Seems
crazy.
Like a good number.
Yeah, you can rate them.
Are any of them haikus?
There are some haikus, yes.
Nice.
You can rate them.
That seems fitting. It seems fitting to have a haiku about rice.
Why? Racist.
Because rice is a fucking typically Asian dish.
It's also Indian.
I know. Well, Indian is fucking part of India's part of Asia.
Well,
asshole.
don't lump them all together. You insensitive.
Indians consider themselves Asian.
Do they?
Yes.
Do Russians?
They should.
That's a weird thing to think about, right? Russians are Asians.
Yeah. Because you think of the stereotypical Asian like a Chinese or Japanese or Korean person.
Yeah, the right kind.
So who's the one being insensitive now?
No one. Neither of us are. We're poo-pooing on the people that still think that way.
You think because Russians and Indian people don't have very narrow eyes that they're not? I'm just joking.
I can't believe you're saying this. Their eyes are extremely narrow.
It's because of the wind.
Is that what Asia's known for? It's wind?
Mm-hmm. It's very windy.
Yeah, no, you
that and their rice.
What a great name for a Micro Machines character. No, and
we didn't. We skimmed over that.
We did
in that episode where we talked about it, and now if anybody's been an avid listener, they now know.
No one knows what but no one knows what the character looked like.
Nobody knows that episode of.
No one listened to that. I steered people away from that one.
It was a pretty rough episode.
No,
I think I don't remember.
I'll try again to get out these features of this website. You can favorite some poems. You can rate them with a star system. You can leave comments.
What a progressive site.
You can follow the author of a poem.
Oh, like physically follow them?
Yeah, it shows you. It basically pulls up a Street View. It pulls up Street View, and then it shows you their current location, and you can sort of follow them around. You can do it on your computer, or if you know the area and feel like traveling, if they're not too far away, you can go there and
there you go.
Threaten to you can mug them, as in offer them a nice fancy mug you made in trade for some sort of goods or services that they might have to offer.
Perhaps for some rice.
No, but yeah, you can follow a poet, and you can send them a message. Presumably, if you all already follow them, it's only allowing me to select to follow someone, and you can view their. You can go to their next poem. If they've had more than one entry. Poemhunter.com.
Well, it's good to know. Well,
check it out.
Thanks, everybody. Yeah. Are you going to at least read one?
You want me to?
Like at this point, we've been talking about it for so long. We should at least read one or two.
Okay, well,
short ones.
I didn't read this one already.
Haikus, maybe.
This is called Almighty Rice Poem.
Oh,
by Gajanan Mishra. Perhaps Mishra.
Sounds like possibly an Asian name.
Well, it says Almighty Rice Poem at the very top, but then just underneath that it says Almighty Rice. So it might just be saying poem at the end because it's a poem, not that it's part of the title.
Seems redundant.
It does,
on a site that's specifically for poems.
Like, what else are you going to find on a site called Poem Hunter? And maybe there's short stories or something. Maybe they're trying to diversify. Okay. Rice. Almighty rice. From Kashmir to Kanyakumari. Diverse nomenclature like Khichdi, Palau, Pakal, Ther, watered ice, Gayak, Kheer. Rice gives life. Rice. All-pervading rice. And without rice, man dies. Let us share rice with love and kiss. I'm sure I mispronounced some of the words in that poem.
I'm not
very keen on rice poems.
I'm not somebody who's like well versed in poetry.
But that
was awful. Maybe I'm wrong. But when you start off your poem with rice.
And don't follow it up with nice.
Essentially, almost end it with rice.
It did not even come close to ending that way.
It was towards the end. He said it again.
So I don't know how many.
Sorry, I assume it was he. I don't know
the picture would suggest that this is a male.
Oh, there's a photo. He had the audacity to put a photo on this site as well.
Yes. No photos of Rice, but of himself. Perhaps he's wearing a suit of Rice, or it's just a white shirt. It's hard to tell from here. It's a small photo.
So it sounded to me, this guy, apparently he enjoys rice. He thinks rice is, something brings life.
Yeah, it brings life.
Apparently,
or gives life.
So rice is very important.
And without rice,
in this person's
dies.
Life. Right, which is not true. Even slightly. But it sounded like he just said rice, 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 then basically kind of just listed a bunch of different types of rice.
Yeah. He
then talked about how it gives life and how without it will die.
I think he just...
Rice, rice, rice.
I think he just got done watching Forrest Gump before he wrote this poem.
Why?
Because of all the ways you can prepare shrimp that's listed off in that movie.
Okay. I was wondering if you had confused Forrest Gump into like it being about rice and not shrimp. No. That's why I was like, why are you going there?
No. Rice and potatoes.
Perhaps. But I think, I am not sure if those were different breeds of rice specifically, or if they were different methods or different
ways to prepare
cooking
rice.
Variations. Yeah,
I think it's more. I think it's more preparing. I don't know, because I've not heard of a huge range of types of rice besides like jasmine rice and basmati rice and brown rice and that kind of stuff.
White rice.
So I mean, cashmere, and
I believe cashmere rice is I don't know if it's a dish or if it's a type of rice.
But then they go into something like watered rice. That sounds like you're preparing it that way.
That just sounds like wet rice.
Like rice gives life. No, I don't know how many people rated this poem, but it has 5.0 stars out of a 5-star possibility.
But it doesn't tell you how many ratings.
It just says rating 5.0 for stars. It doesn't tell me.
I think outside of the person who wrote it, you're the first person to read it. And he rated his own.
There are comments.
He gave a 5-star to his own. Oh God.
There are comments on
my
it.
My theory doesn't stand.
Or,
let's read some of the comments.
Let me see. Hold on. No, okay. It is plural.
Great poem.
I was about to say maybe there are comments, but no, there are 2.
Okay. So that counts.
So this poem was posted Tuesday, January 15th, 2013.
Oh, wow.
And on January 15th, 2013 was the first comment. So the day it went up. The day it went live.
Somebody's following this guy.
Gotta be.
And like have been clamoring for his newest poem.
My phone just got a notification.
Yep.
Gajanan Mishra just posted a new poem, possibly about rice. Really a thoughtful poem at this situation. When water system of India is regularized and the farmers suffer in the villages, while the urban people assume their regular supply of food is available from the shelves of the supermarkets and petty traders. When the urban people feel the pinch of escalating commodity price, then they may wake up. How many years are we waiting for the water that is wasted in the north?
Okay, so
no replies.
I guess I didn't read into the poem as much as that person did of the fact that he's talking about the people who farm the rice.
And
that's what gives life.
Yeah, because it provides them with income.
Yeah.
See, this is why
this might be deeper than I thought, man. We're not good.
We're not good at it. We're just going like, that sucked. He said rice right at the beginning. It's easy to rhyme rice with rice, you hack.
It's not. I don't consider that rhyming. When you use the same, when you.
I also just said you can't rhyme rice with rice. I just said that.
I thought you just said you rhymed rice with rice. That's easy.
Then it's a criticism of doing that.
Okay.
I'm not going. I didn't say, that. Wow, what a great. You caught my attention.
No, I knew you were being critical of it.
Okay.
I was just stating that I feel like that's such a cheap move. It happens in songs all the time too, where they just rhyme they can't come up with a rhyme, so they just say the same word again. It's just like, that's just lazy.
Boys, boys, boys. We like boys in cars. Boys, boys, boys. Buy us drinks in bars. Lady Gaga.
That's not.
It's not the same thing.
No, because the rhyme word is at the end of the line.
We like.
She's just saying boys a bunch.
So boys. We like boys in cars. Rhymes with boys.
Yes, cars is the rhyming word. At the next line is bars. Typically in a song, you're rhyming the end word of a phrase.
But are you also rhyming the first words of the phrase?
No.
Okay.
How ridiculous would all music be if all we did was every fucking word was rhyming the entire time?
Not every word.
Yeah, but that's what you're getting at basically by saying, "Oh, she's rhyming boys." No, she's just saying boys.
Look, I just came up with an example. Well, then this guy isn't rhyming rice with rice because it's the first line. And so then he didn't even do that. Then.
He didn't do any rhyming.
Which poetry doesn't have to have rhyming.
Yeah, exactly.
Neither do song lyrics.
Why are you so hooked up on this rhyming shit?
Oh my god.
Calm down, dude.
Can I read the second comment?
You got really worked up over this. Yeah, read the second comment. I'm sure it's going to be fucking great.
It's much shorter. This came out nearly 2 years later, October 20th of 2014. Let us share rice with love and kiss. Beautiful poem. So it just repeated the very last 2 lines of the poem and said beautiful poem.
So basically, let us share rice and kiss. So rice is being used as a dowry in a marriage.
You think so? Or is it like, I'm trying to court you, I will make you rice that we can share, and then we will kiss and hopefully fornicate.
And then we will kiss under the moonlight.
While these shelves, while these commodity prices rise.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't get poetry.
We're going to leave it with one poem for today. You think?
I think we might leave it with one poem
forever. What, you're not inspired to look up other like really bizarre subject matter on a poem website and see if you find something interesting?
Maybe.
Okay.
Just think of the weirdest word you can think of and see what comes up, you know?
Lice.
Don't see, now you're in a rhyming kick. Lice.
Oh, what a great poem. The farmers, they bring lice. And it brings them life. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
let us shampoo, lice, and kiss.
Weird. Well, see you next Tuesday. Episode everybody. 201. This was great.
Yeah. We're on a roll.
If you have a question, complaint, or threat for Sean or Matt, you can reach us on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, X, or Instagram at hsfamouspod, or you can email the show at highschoolfamous@gmail.com. No animals were pleasured during the making of this podcast, despite our best efforts. All hail our Lord and Savior.
Calm down. I'm from the future.
I know. Even if the cat were, quote, old enough, that's not something you want to pursue. If you're a human...
You could still be on webcam and not show anybody that you're wearing fawn legs.